Hey there, my fellow homesteaders. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Survival Fountain of Youth, Episode 12, Tanning and Farming. So now with this copper tank, I can turn this into a solar water distiller, which is a really powerful way to gain water. But I haven't really needed water. Like, it rains frequently enough on this island that this water barrel I've never dipped into, so it's not that big of a deal, and as far as I am concerned. And then also allows me to upgrade the improved tanner workbench to a one that can actually make leather. So this required a strong branch from the cannonball tree, which you're not going to get in this starter island. But I obtained one when I was on Copper Island. So it gets 2 more pieces of rope. Hammer it all together. And bingo bango, we have a tanner bench. Now, in order to make a piece of leather, the tanner bench needs water in it. And the problem I have is I don't think I have a water vessel. So I would need like a coconut flask. But I do have a coconut in storage, so let's get another rope. Coconut flasks are really not a good way to transport water because they're so limited in their capacity compared to better versions. But I don't really feel the need to run all the way out for like bamboo. I'm way lazier than that. Alright, so now with this coconut flask, I can fill it up with water, and that means that I can start refilling my my hearth with a pot too, which is good. The other thing I wanted to do is to make some coffee, because I don't, my character's tired, but not hurt, so sleeping doesn't seem necessary to me. So I'll make 2 coffee drinks. No, I'll have to light the fire first, and then make the coffee drinks. There we go. And this is why I love Copper Island, because it's full of coffee beans. And I'll just keep making coffee, as long as I'm not hurt. Alright, so with the coconut flask, let's get that into my actual hands. And we'll start moving water around. Oh, I don't actually need to hold it. We'll start moving water around from the rain barrels and the barrel there to make leather. So I have exactly 10 water in the flask right now. We could drop the water into the water tank here like this. It's worth noting, the water in the tanner workbench will evaporate slowly over time. And there we go. Now I have a piece of leather. So this piece of leather can make leather hood, leather jacket, leather pants, leather boots, a breathing bubble to double my breathing time, a leather backpack, a bandolier with cartridge pouch for musket, and a leather belt. What I want to do with it is repair my backpack. So that I need tendon thread as well, but I've been taking the animal tendons from the things I've been killing for tendon thread. And voila! Bingo bango! My backpack that was about to decay away in like days is now 2 months out. Nice! Backpack secured. The other thing I would really like to make is the leather belt, so that I have more tool slots. That's a really nice one. But there we go. We got leather. You guys voted that I continue to improve my tools. So let's try to figure out what that would be and how meaningful it would be. So over here, I could craft... Personally, I don't find tools made of copper worth it, because it takes a lot of effort to gather copper, where it does not take as much effort to gather obsidian, right? Obsidian is just like sitting over here ready for me to grab, and obsidian is like reasonably good. So as a result, I'll probably not end up making a lot of copper tools, just because it doesn't seem necessary to me. So instead, you voted that I improve my tools, so let's see. if I had a lot more water, I could make clothing. I did mention really wanting the leather belt. So let's make a leather belt. So let's grab water from this flask. Pouring it in. And crafting, oops, wrong project. Another piece of leather. And then with some of the prepared hide that I have, actually before I start doing that, let's make 3 pieces of process hide. So that I can start drying it out to make more leather. Oh! Awesome! I needed more water for the, okay. This is just... Thank you, game. This is so fortuitous. I was like, so the one thing that's going to be a hang-up in order to get the leather making done is my lack of water, and then it starts raining on me. Mm-hmm. That's right. The other thing is I actually don't have a lot of fuel to, like, actually cook on. I thought oh, you know what? I probably have a bunch of sticks in the boat. I haven't really emptied out the boat, have I? Take all. So, rotten food, if you're wondering, can be composted. And, and that way it's not like a pointless thing to have. And compost will improve the yields from farming, which you all might want me to do at some point. I actually don't have sticks in here. So I'm gonna have to go get some sticks. I don't have sticks that I want to burn, I should say. I do have sticks, but not ones that would be worth throwing into the fire as a fuel source. Because, like, strong sticks and flexible sticks, those are kind of more important. But before I go out and do that, let's remove all the water from these and store it so that I can gather even more water. Yeah, I think the sticks went to making coal. I just felt like I had 20, but I have 0, so I have to go fetch some. Yeah, I know, I'm soaking wet. Don't care. Hibiscus tea is pretty easy to make. That counters being sick. Alright, so I've got 59 sticks on me. That should do for a while. Those thorny, spiky bushes might hurt when you run through them, but they are phenomenal when you want sticks. My clothing is all about to fall off. So I'll probably want to repair that too. At some point, upgrading to like leather clothing would obviously be ideal. It would give me some armor and better protection from the elements. But that's, you know, one of those tasks for when I have the surplus of water and materials for it. I don't, at the moment, have oodles and oodles and oodles of, like, water and processed hides. So the water tank and the tanner workbench can make 2 more pieces of leather. And then the sticks I grabbed were honestly just for regular old boring cooking because my character was kind of hungry. Your inner loot goblin enjoyed all those stick collection. So I'm going to make some charcoal so I can make more ink and quill. And then some roasted meat. Oh, I need clay strips for the ink and quill because I used them up making the crossbow forms. Good. And yeah. So let's top up the leather tank. You can see why having a flask that actually carries more than like 10 units of water is better, because I'm having to do a lot of back and forth, and some of the, even the bamboo flask does 15, and it gets better than that, of course. This back and forth is not great, but it's doable in a pinch. Alright. So I processed a bunch of hides. I need tree bark to make any more leather. So let's put the sticks away and everything else. And grab some tree bark from pterodon. There's... what's the time around here? 9 hours? There's some pterodon down this way. Well, there's pterodon kind of everywhere. And then with the extra leather, I'll be able to make a leather belt. And, unlike the like, leaf clothing that I'm wearing now, and leaf belt and all that stuff, the leather stuff lasts a lot longer. The other thing I'm going to need to make a leather belt is probably to use that last piece of ingot that I have to make copper needles. Oh, these are long sticks. Because fishbone needles break really fast, and I don't think I'm going to be able to actually craft a leather belt with fishbone alone. So, as a general concept, the cost of making the higher tier stuff is a big investment, as you've seen. Like, all of what I just poured into the smelter and the charcoal pit and the forge, I managed to repair my backpack once, right? Like, you know, and upgrade the tannery. But once you have the upgraded stuff, it sticks around. And unlike a lot of other games, your gear decays over time, not from usage for your clothing. Which means, like, if I have leather armor, it doesn't get damaged by jaguar fights. It just decays over the course of time. Meaning that it's like, once you have it, it's not like getting into fights ruins it, which is nice. So, before I'd make anything, for the belt, I need a rope made of skin. So I should make the rope made of skin first. So let me cancel what I've got going on over here to make a rope made of skin. And then the other piece of the belt is 2 tendon threads. So the other piece of leather here, I'm just like making spare leather. And then 2 tendon threads. And then over here, I can make that belt. Oh, but I need the needle. That's right. So let's craft the needle. So the needle is going to be crafted on the forge. Copper needle. And for that, it takes an hour and 12 minutes, which is 1 piece of coal. And a hammer. And wherever I put my hammer. I don't have a tool bench yet, and that's obviously proving to be a foolish decision. Oh, it was right here the whole time. And let's start a new thing of charcoal. Add light and work. And this gives me 3 needles. So the needles can be used to also build a bed with a mattress. If I had linen fabric and wooden planks. Wooden planks are off of the improved carpentry workbench, and linen fabrics is from flax, which I haven't found yet. So now with all of that, I can come back over here and bingo bango bongo. Here is my leather belt. The real advantage of the leather belt is I now have 5 weapon slots. So you know how I was switching between like the torch and the axe and... Well, no, I don't need to do that. I can have torch on 5, axe on, you know, bow on 2, spear on 1. I don't really need a knife in my active slot, but like, it makes it a lot easier to have multiple weapons without, you know, having to juggle your inventory or something silly. Which is great. Now, where'd my coffee go? For real, where did I put my coffee down somewhere? Where is it? Coffee, no! Where'd you go? There it is. Should not be in there. Alright, what did I need for the tegu hide? An excellent tanner? And I have an improved tanner. So, for the excellent tanner, I would need a wooden plank, which is the upgraded carpentry. And the upgraded carpentry requires 2 ingots. So, I'm not there yet. But what I can do is I have the feather and ink and 1 ingot to upgrade the sextant and to draw a map where the sextant leads me, and I think that is a reasonable last goal once I move some water around. Because I can make some more leather. Actually, maybe not. I have because it's raining, it's a pretty good time to fill up the leather tank. And if you're wondering, you can drink straight. I mean, it in real life would probably kill you, but you can drink straight from your tannery tank. All the water that you don't use tanning leathers is still clean. IRL tanning chemicals are like super toxic, but whatever. There's 2 more pieces of leather. And with these new pieces of leather, I could make... Yeah, let's make leather pants. The first of modern clothing. So let's grab our needle. All 3 of them, might as well. Leather pants. So, leather pants will break in 57 days. The leaf clothing will break in 8 days. You can see the incremental returns on effort. Pretty easy to measure, right? And then one of the other things that opened up, having made leather pants, which I will show you in just a moment once I move some water around before it evaporates. So it evaporates out of these rain collectors a lot faster than it evaporates out of the tannery tank. And then it does not evaporate out of the hearth with the pot. So if you want to keep water from evaporating, the hearth pot is the place to put it. Or a barrel. You know, obviously that barrel never evaporates in either. But I'm topping up the hearth now. Alright, the difference here. This gives 25% protection from the sun, 20 from the wind, 25 from the rain, 25 from the heat, and 5 armor. Decreases my wound chance by 4% and my poisoning chance by 4%. Compared to that, to like leaf. Yeah, leaf doesn't, it kind of protects you from the sun. So if you have 4 pieces of leaf, you're protected from the sun, but it does not really protect you from other things. So a full set of leather is going to significantly protect you from wind and rain. Fully from rain, and a lot of wind, and fully from heat, and so on and so forth. So you will be way hardier in harsh climates. And as you saw from the new climate, yeah, being hardier is very nice. And then there is an upgraded version, pants with copper plates, which gives you more armor. My 2 cents, don't make copper armor, because the iron exists, and copper armor pales in the benefit compared to iron armor. So the last thing I want to do here is... Oh, you know what? Maybe building a teepee would be nice. So let's make a fishbone needle. So the fishbone needles have a durability of like 46, whereas the copper needles have a durability of like 300. So, yeah, the fishbone needles, like, you're just not going to be able to sew yourself leather gear with fishbone needles. But the reason I made the fishbone needle here is it is a piece of the recipe for a teepee roof. Oh, I need a bunch more of them. So the teepee allows you to, like, to create, like, a sleeping spot for sun, wind, rain, pests, cold, and disease treatment, which is like deployable in a new location, but I don't have all the materials for that, unfortunately. I just thought working towards that would be nice. Oh, what am I crafting? Oh, an open coconut? I didn't mean to do that. That was a misclick entirely. So I have the fishbone needles now for the teepee. But I don't have the dried hide or tendon thread. The dried hide, of course, is from, you know, processed hides over here. So there's one. And then that's all I have. So I would need to go kill, probably boar is the most likely to give me skins. But I'm on my way to that for an upgrade, which is nice. Gotta get my coffee beans. I still have coffee on me. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things I could do before. So, yeah, maybe I will. The very last thing I do is to fulfill that, the quest to repair the sextant. I just forget where my copper ingot is. Or I could do farming. Yeah, I could do farming. Shall we maybe set up a farm? That seems reasonable. Especially now that it is daytime and I have daylight. It would have been a little harder to do it in the dark. So, priority? Start a farm. So, little pro tip. Not all things are worth farming. There's a lot of there's a lot of stuff that you could plant that, like, would be worthless. So I'll give you a for instance. I live around chamomile. So farming chamomile would be stupid because it's growing wild all around my house. So why would I spend the time, energy, and effort to farm it? That makes no sense. So I need 6 split logs and a hollow log to start a farm, and then after I build the farm, I'll probably also want a compost bin so that I can boost yields as well. Can you just get valid somewhere? Thank you. I did not take advantage of that rain all that well. I was just single-mindedly working towards the farm. But it would be good if I moved some water around too. I'm just scoffing at, like, the idea of sticking the it high in the sky. So about farming. Farming in this game is a little weird in that it's hard to understand the requirements, and it's going to make a lot more sense when I actually show you. So I don't want to go any further into my into the details until I can actually physically show you. But when I started trying to farm in this game, like, I definitely did it wrong, and it's pretty detrimental when you do it wrong because you destroy your seeds. So if you have, like, a rare seed and you accidentally just destroy it, that sucks a big one. Alright, so here's the builder's kit. The other thing I wanted to do is... Oh, you know what? I kind of did this wrong. So the farm itself can be placed down just like on the sand or whatever, which maybe I'll do this time, but I think it's better if you place it on foundation. Like, everything out here is just kind of, like, thrown together. I guess I'll put it on the sand just because there's no pests. But before I do anything else, let's take all this water, because this water is going to be needed for the farm in a moment too. I've been pretty lucky with the frequency of rain. Sometimes it's whether it rains or not is a bit random, and occasionally you can just get unlucky and it just basically never rains for you, and then you have to use your copper to build, like, solar water collectors instead of, like, tanneries initially. Where'd my shovel go? Build a coffee plantation? Yeah, there's other things too. There's, you know, my word of advice is find recipes that you like and then plant the things for those recipes. So here's the farm plot. And here are the seeds that I have. I have seeds for sticks, seeds for eucalyptus, feijoa. Feijoa is a pretty good choice because of, and I'll show you the recipe I'm referring to. Feijoa gives you this berry drink if you also plant a kakao, and that restores 60 energy. It's not as good as, you know, so it's coffee is 50 energy, but it's cheaper because it's only one dried coffee bean. So cheap, bang for your buck, coffee's where it's at. But that's a pretty good choice. And then there's garden beds, but filling up all the garden beds is a bad idea. And here's why. So there's only so much water that the base the base farm can support. And essentially, you can plant more seeds in your farm plot than your farm plot can supply plants with water. So when you plant stuff here, this will make a lot more sense in just a second. I'm going to plant the coffee. So the coffee requires 6 water from the plot. And the plot only has so much water that it can support. So it's not like it's drawing. The way it's working is drawing from its like total capacity. So this garden would only be able to support 2 coffee trees, because 2 coffee trees would be 12 water out of its 15. And if I planted 3, then the plants would start to die. So as you can see here, water required down in the bottom right. And you really need to keep an eye on that, because you can easily plant more than your garden plot can support, and then all the crops that you planted will die off until you start pulling them. So that's just something I wanted to point out, because I made that mistake because I didn't fully understand it at the start. And you can upgrade your farm to support a larger water tank capacity so that you can actually plant more crops. But that requires me to have a bigger carpentry workbench, so I don't have that yet. So I have enough water for more stuff here, but the other thing that I could do over here is the chemistry workbench, if upgraded, which at some point I'm going to want to upgrade, allows me to create seeds. So this will allow me to create coffee tree seeds. So I think what I want to do, if there's time, and I know I'm a little over time, is oh, you know what? I don't have any animal fat. But I'm going to go a little overtime just to try to get that going. So here we go. A raw clay pot. So the last thing I'm going to do is upgrade workbench to plant second coffee. It's kind of dumb they'd make it like that. I mean, it's part of the game mechanic, I suppose. If there's a part of it that I thought was dumb, it's that it's not obvious it works that way until you, like, have your crops die off. So, in my opinion, that's the dumb part, because it's like a gotcha mechanic of like, ha, you, like, planted too much and it's dead now. And you're like, why? I didn't mean to do that. Alright, so I have the coffee pot, and then the other piece of the recipe for upgrading this was animal fat. So I just need to go murder something that's fat. So I will run out to the peccaries and boars, because short-eared dogs don't have fat. So the upgraded chemistry bench allows me to extract seeds from, like, fruits and whatnot, to turn them back in to be able to replant them. So it's not so much chemistry as it's like, it's just a, you know, agricultural, I don't know, it's a mixed workbench. Peccaries are to the north. So what I want to do is I have raw coffee beans that have not been dried, and I'll turn the raw coffee beans back into, like, coffee seeds so that I can plant more coffee. Oh, bow is on 2. Hit you in the neck. You did not even survive. Lard, hide, meat. It's also really good for hide, right? Because the boar... Well, here's a boar over here. I'll kill the boar. Boars fight back. The peccaries don't. Although this board did nothing to me. Ooh, I'm skinning you for everything. Alright, well that's a lot of hides to turn into leather. That was productive. And showing the use of the bow. I mean, primarily it's really good against herbivores that run from you because it slows the enemies them down. Because any predators are going to hunt you. But it's really good against the predators too because it also slows the predators, allowing you to time your blocking hits more capably. Because I am bad at timing it. You know, fighting the Tegu, they kept biting me when I was trying to like block hit them. Because they lunge really, really fast and they're kind of hard to block. Is my excuse. This thing's going to move a little bit as I upgrade it. So I need another clay strip and a split log. And then here's the pot. So one more split log. And then these 4 fresh hides can be processed on the tannery at some point so that I can hang them to dry and eventually turn them to leather. Alright, one more split log. Let's do that now. Oh, I didn't mean to turn that off. There we go. That was dumb. I'm just going to leave that bench out here because there's other trees that I will cut down that way. And I think, because I already have a full HP torch, I'm going to break this torch down for the lamp fuel that I get from it before it fully breaks. Because once it's fully broken, you can't, like, salvage anything off of it. Oh, I didn't actually get the lamp fuel. Oh well, whatever. Okay, so now with this upgraded workbench, I can, there's more blueprints that I can do off of this. I thought there was the coffee seeds one. Maybe I'm mistaken. No. I'm pretty sure I'm not mistaken. I just don't know where it is. Let me open all... Oh, you know what? I need a linked skill from a skill book. To do it. I actually might have the skill book to read real quick before I call the end of the stream. Because I think I have a farming book over here. Unread. Yes. So let's see if it's this book by chance. But if I'm about to read a book, my character's about to fall asleep, so let's make some more coffee. Plants require 3 units less of water to grow. Nope, wrong book. Okay, well, I tried to do this, but I forgot that it's a skill book required thing to turn plants back into seeds. But here, as you can see, this is the skill book upgrade, so it's the other farming skill book I need to find. That's okay. It does mean that Now this coffee tree only requires 3 water, which is pretty good. The other plot I'm going to put in here is the feijoa. There we go. So now 3 water, 1 water. That's not that much water. And I'm working on like making, you know, essentially energy drinks for myself so that I can just keep running without having to stop. But speaking of stopping, I think this is where I am going to leave off for now. Thank you for tuning in to Survival Fountain of Youth, which originally streamed live on Twitch September 24th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind I'm trying to avoid spoilers. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. And if you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow explorers.